Alright guys, we're back, and when you think about the Mount Rushmore of WWE, you think about a couple of superstars. Now I know a lot of people have their preferences on whoever they want as their four guys on Mount Rushmore, but on the face of Mount Rushmore of WWE, I'm thinking about who is really, the four guys that have really changed the business. And I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, it's Shawn Michaels or something, whatever. But I'm going to choose really my four guys who I think really changed WWE/WWF. So here we go. At number 4, we have Stone Cold Steve Austin. That's right. I mean, you look at the Stone Cold Steve Austin and Vince McMahon feud for 90. When was that? 97 to 99. That was the most hottest feud in professional wrestling. And that won their Monday Night Wars, and also Stone Cold Steve Austin was one of the big top stars of the Attitude Era with The Rock. And him, now, he's like a megastar in WWE. And that character alone is also that story between a boss and an employee storyline has gone on for so long, and how good that he was one of those guys that when you heard him speak on the mic, that you didn't. I mean, somebody like Stone Cold Steve Austin doesn't need scripted promos to really get somebody invested into a promo. Like a lot of other guys in the Attitude Era, would go off script, and I wish they would do that now in today's WWE a bit more. I know they do that on NXT, but maybe on the main roster, a lot of wrestlers need to go off script. Now and again, I don't want to see corny ass beanstalk promos or anything like that. I want to see basically good promos. I mean, we had good promos in the Attitude Era, so why can we not have them now? We had them even in the Russo Aggression Era. So there we go. I mean, things like that. I mean, Stone Cold Steve Austin is one of the biggest names of the Attitude Era, and that's why he's at number 4. I know people are like, why is Austin not number 1? Because Austin hasn't done like the other 3 have, and I'm going to talk about that. At number 3, we have Hulk Hogan. So a lot of people are like, okay, Hulk Hogan. Oh yeah, Hulk Hogan. I mean, you look what Hulk Hogan did in the 80s. Hulk Hogan really, transformed WrestleMania into this one-off show to a mega phenomenon it is today. He put wrestling on the map. He basically made WWF what it is today, just because of Hulk Hogan's name alone. And him in the Rocky movie, he was like the one guy that, even though he was a wrestler, he still got the WWF. I know he still got them exposure, and he got them a lot of buy rates in the 80s and the early 90s. And that is why Hulk Hogan. I mean, he's left such a legacy of. I mean, a lot of wrestlers in the business have said that they got into wrestling because of Hulk Hogan. And if it was black and white Hogan or if it was red and yellow Hogan, he was what it was. But Hulk Hogan at number 3. I know a lot of people say he should be number 1, but I don't think those two guys. I think in my list should deserve to have the spots that they deserve because of what they've done in the business. So I could have said Bruno or whatever, but I went for Hogan on this one. So at number 2, we have The Rock, the most electrifying man in all of entertainment. The Rock. Now you talk about the guy that has transformed from being a so-called wrestler, as the media will say, to being one of the best paid actors in professional in the movie world today. And when The Rock first started getting into movies, 2001, 2002, a lot of people saying, oh, he's just The Rock, the wrestler. He ain't going to be any good. But he proved you wrong every single time that The Rock was on that stage, on that movie screen. He was proving you wrong. And the buy rates were coming in for every single theater The Rock was in. They were fucking selling out because The Rock's the biggest box office draw outside of professional wrestling. It's not Hulk Hogan. A lot of people say, oh, it's Hulk Hogan is the biggest draw from wrestling. No, it's The Rock. The Rock really cemented a life outside of wrestling. And look at guys like John Cena now and Batista. Batista now, the second highest paid actor behind The Rock in Hollywood. Yes, Dave Batista, the guy who wasn't that good on promos in his babyface run back in the Russo Aggression Era. That Dave Batista, the guy who got booed 3 years ago, is the guy people want to see on Guardians of the Galaxy and James Bond and all those other movies he's doing. And he's working with Sylvester Stallone and stuff like that. But this isn't about Batista, it's about The Rock. I mean, what else can I say about The Rock? I mean, he's entertaining, awesome heel, awesome face, box office draw, decent wrestler. He can do it. I mean, it's fucking Rock. Do I have to say anything else about The Rock? And then my final pick is Bruno Sammartino. And a lot of people are like, why Bruno? But you guys look at Bruno. In the 70s and early 80s, how much he drew, how much he sold out MSG for the WWF at the time, and how much he made WWF big in New York. I know a lot of people like in Pittsburgh and stuff, because back then the WWF was still a newish company, so it isn't like it is today. So you can go to like any city and watch WWE, and they didn't have loads of TV stations all the WWE network at the time. So you had to really, the one place they only had made the money was MSG, and the one guy they always had headlining MSG in those 70s and early 80s was Bruno Sammartino. He was the longest reigning WWE champion in company history, WWE Hall of Famer. I mean, what else would I say? I mean, Bruno is a true legend, and he deserves to be top of this list. I could have put Rock, but Rock and Bruno really helped the company from the 70s and 80s. I know Rock's helped them from outside of WWE, and so's Hogan and Austin in their own ways, but you look at Bruno, what he did in the 70s and 80s, selling at the Garden every single year. He had an 8-year title reign. I think that cements Bruno as one of the greatest of all time, and he deserves to be a face, the four faces of Mount Rushmore of WWE. And that is my video of who my four faces of Mount Rushmore will be, WWE edition. Thank you guys for watching. I'll check you later.